the end of the renovation era, and how does that affect your pricing of your home? Stay tuned.
I'm the ringleader, so listen up.
Josh Wapshop, the property economist.
Novak, leader of the people.
Top of the morning to you.
Top of the morning. Interesting, very relevant topic this morning. The end of the renovation era.
Yeah. It's the world's changed, guys and girls, and we wanted to share this with you, and we've seen it morphing probably over 12, 24, 36 months. And it's definitely changing. The people's habits towards what they want to do with properties is different. Tell us more, Josh. Tell us more.
Yeah, definitely. So what I'm seeing, especially in the unit market, is traditionally, or call it 6 months even prior, there was a lot of people would look out for those types of units that needed a little bit of work. Their idea was that they could pick it up a little bit cheaper, do the works themselves, maybe create a bit of equity, or maybe create that uplift, and they move on to something else. And that segment in the market has completely changed. Right now, I'm seeing the better results, or properties that are achieving higher prices, are the ones that actually have a finished product turnkey. A lot of the buyers out there, especially the ones with larger budgets, so these are your downsizers, they don't want to go through the hassle of trades, moving from their house to a unit with strata, and having to book your your renovations through the strata committee. It's a massive difference I'm seeing in terms of what people are willing to spend for unrenovated versus renovated. So definitely a big change there, and something that like I said, it's been relevant over multiple suburbs across the northern beaches in property that I've seen, and I have seen some really big sales in and amongst the lower shore here, DY, Freshie, for those properties that have had recent renovations. Two bedders of over 1.6 million. It's insane.
And I guess if you're a mere mortal, I don't know, like people that have the capacity or have handled a big renovation, maybe like 1 out of 10 people, 1 out of, 2 out of 10 people in the last 10 years, right? People that have done something big like that. But for us mere mortals, like the undertaking to understand the layers of compliance, work, time, and cost that are going into these renovations are staggering. I remember a quote from a large developer on the Northern Beaches last month. Mr. Tuma was saying to me, he goes, Mark, when I was building 80, 90 units, I do building in DY, which is the Havana. 315 certificates for his new building in DY. 20 years ago, 15 years ago, guess how many certificates he needed for the same size building?
Nowhere near as much.
15.
Wow.
He had Water Board, he had Energy Australia, he had fire. So the level of compliance for him has gone up. What's that? That's not 10x.
Like
that's
20-fold.
Right? Yeah. So it's just like the level of compliance now for us mere mortals that need to renovating a property, even if you're just renovating a basic 1-bedroom unit and going through strata, the certification process of the things that you need is just unbelievable. So the trend now is you buy it renovated and you buy it done and you just focus on the mortgage. And we're seeing that more and more and more, where before, as an agent, I'd see people sometimes pay more for the unrenovated version than the renovated version because they just wanted to do it themselves and add their own value.
Yeah, definitely. And I think something else to add in as well, and what I've been speaking with either owners that are preparing their property, is that finding a good trade. You know, I've had owners that have gone out to several local businesses, and you don't even get a quote back. It seems that they're quite busy out there at the moment. So I think finding just a good, good reliable trade, that's added something to the pot filling in terms of why people are going towards these finished products. And then that's that conception of cost as well. I mean, if you are going for those nicer finishes, I know we had a beautiful apartment in Oaks Avenue that we sold, and the owners there went and did a laundry, a bathroom, and a kitchen. They spent $125,000. These aren't big kitchens, big bathrooms, or big laundries. So you purchase the two better at 1.5. You go and spend 200 on it if you're going to go and change the flooring, your lights, get rid of the popcorn ceiling. So you're sitting at about 1.7, 1.8 for a two-bedroom apartment in DY after your capital investment as well. So there's that aspect. So it all sort of makes sense when you take a step back and look at the big picture. And yeah, it's just something I've really seen lately that I wanted to highlight because as we're in an area of at the moment, sort of on that 1,000 mark for properties available on sale, you really need to position your property correctly and really feed it to the market for what the market's asking for, because you'll need to stand out amongst that competition there. So I really think it's an important point I've picked up, and the downsizers are out there. I would dare say that any nice apartment, probably 80% of the people coming through are downsizers, and they're either on the market, already sold, or about to settle. They're the majority of my conversations at the moment with buyers ready to make a move. Not too worried about the climate. It's a necessity. They need somewhere to live. And that's probably been the biggest box to tick on their list is something where, they've done all the work in the house, they've cleared it out, kids are out, they've gone through that big sort of point at your life where you leave the family home. You probably want to, leave that behind you and come somewhere where you can move straight in, relax, feel good, you're doing less maintenance, etc. So that's definitely a point in the market. And if you're looking to cater your property to the best buyers in the market, that would be these buyers, and that's what they're asking for.
And those costs you mentioned, just like we're talking basic stuff here, guys, like we haven't even spoken about the outside of a house or roofs or extensions or anything like that. But, if you just look at that basic cost of a new kitchen and a new bathroom with all the compliance inside these apartments these days, that's a big cost, that kitchen cost and that bathroom cost. Second story extensions, they're just massive costs. So we are seeing now, if you've just tuned in, we're talking about renovations, the era of the renovations coming to end. We're seeing an original property being penalised more because people don't want to renovate. We're seeing a renovated property people paying more for. So there's a little bit of a gap being formed. That gap's still not enough for people to come in and renovate and profit and sell, believe it or not, because of that cost of doing all that work. I really do think that someone who's in trades has a huge benefit to renovating properties where they've got friends that are electricians or plumbers, or they've got that suite of trades that are buddies of theirs, that they can do work for them, and that they and their friends can do work for them. I think trades have got a really, really good edge to getting into doing renovations at the moment of their own properties.
100%, Mark. And there's always a flip side, guys. For people that have that advantage, are handy with the tools, or have family in trades, all that means is the properties that aren't presented, that aren't renovated, perfect buying opportunities, because you're not dealing with that. You've pretty much taken majority of your higher end competition out of the how do you call it? negotiation of such, because they're looking at those finished turnkey properties, and there's less people for you to compete against in those properties that need renovation. So, there's always a positive to the flip side, and that is for buyers out there. If you're looking for something, very cost effective or efficient in this market, I think it's got to be something that needs a bit of work done. You probably don't want to be going up against those downsizers that have just sold a $4.5 million home, and that extra $100,000 in, if that they're willing to offer, might mean a lot less to them than it might to you. So yeah, definitely say there's an opportunity in the market there, and that's what I'm telling a lot of mates that are my age. I'm saying, look for those renovated, or those properties that need a bit of work, because I do feel like they're going to be the buy in the market at the moment. Less competition, and you'll be able to pick up what I'd perceive as a good deal.
And also, I think people that have access to money at the moment, borrowing money is hard work, guys. And I think whether you're lending money or whether you got access to money because you're a retiree, the types of people that have access to that money at the moment that are making the purchases, those types of people are not renovators. So the execs on fat paychecks, they want something renovated. A downsizer buying in cash, they want something renovated. It's maybe that cycle of the market as well, in addition to the simple cost of and compliance of doing the works these days.
Yeah, definitely, Mark, I'd agree. But yeah, massive, really in the last 2 to 4 weeks, I've seen that charge even further in regards to that sort of need for these buyers and what they're wanting. So I think it was good to get it out there to either sellers that are looking to sell and what they need to do, and buyers what to look out for, and what's happening in the current market. Very interesting stuff.
There you go. The end of the renovation era. Thanks for watching.
See you guys.
Thanks, Josh. Cheers. Bye.